You're listening to Mama's Garage Podcast.
Welcome back to Mama's Garage. I'm joined today by Brighton Nugent. Oh, he's getting all bashful now. Brighton Nugent.
Hello.
All right, so we were just talking very briefly before I pressed record. So I was under the impression you and I were, at one point went to school together, but you told me that you were in 8th grade when I was a senior. I just did not know that, which makes you, I think, the youngest guy to ever grace the pod.
I saw that you had Dylan Jackson on here too.
Is he in your grade or is he a grade below you?
He's the same grade.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, because he was with, I know Cyrus pretty well, so that's fine. Yeah, that was like on the other side of us, right, in that library study hall, and dude, I walked in there and they were just writing on the board with just all this ridiculous shit, and they talked about it the whole episode. Listen to episode 9 if you're listening to this. They were. A lot of it was like real science stuff, but they mixed in fabricated bullshit. So I was none the wiser, but it made for a really experimental first 30 minutes of that podcast. I don't think anyone listened to the whole thing. There's no way they did. But, so you're going in your senior year. So it's your junior year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Junior.
That was my second favorite year of school because it's like you're like upperclassmen now, so you have respect amongst people. Most people, you're older than most people in the school, but you're not worried about leaving yet. So I really just got comfortable. The guy I am today is much more like I think the beginnings of it was when I was like 16 as a junior. I just did a lot of stuff for the first time there. So do you have any plans? Like, keeping your grades C- and below?
For junior year, I don't really have many plans for school.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe C- at the lowest.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Because what I inferred was that C- were literally your apex.
Yeah.
Like the only thing you do is 70s.
And then
I didn't mean that.
And then like music is a very like prominent thing.
Mm-hmm.
So
Of course.
keeping that.
Now, are you in band at all, or just like you just do stuff on your own and just like?
Just stuff on my own mainly.
I wanted to do that when I was in 7th grade. I really wanted to be like, dude, I got a garage with a drum set in it. That's all I really need. But I think I would have sincerely regretted not doing it if I had done that, because I learned so much through all that. You have to weave through all like the nonsense where it's like, you got to play a maraca for this piece. It's like, well, I don't really want to play a fucking maraca, let alone 2 maracas, or just play. Ever play finger cymbals?
I've not.
You ever play a triangle, a 40 measure triangle roll?
I've played a triangle.
Okay, yeah, good. Well, I did that shit for college or for high school credit, and it taught me patience. It taught me how much more fun drum set is than a triangle, so that's cool. But so are you in a band at all? Or are you in Mason's band? Or
yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought, because I was working today. You guys did like that Halloween show in November. Mm-hmm. You guys invited me to it, but I was working at Greeks at the time still. Doesn't know what November 1st was, like the day after Halloween. That right?
Yeah, we just did that so everybody could come. Like on Halloween, we knew nobody would show up.
Of course, that's very smart of you guys. But I've always wanted to do like a traditional Halloween show where it's at like a Halloween party. Everyone's dressed up. We like throw candy at people, and like I kind of did that last year because I was playing with the tinted plates in Muncie, and I think I wore 4 costumes in one. So at the very end of Deadpool, he does like an homage to Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And so I didn't have the full get-up, but I had a really good Deadpool mask, and then I had a pretty, like I guess, a robe that you could see, like, he's totally doing Ferris Bueller right now. So I wore that over a red shirt, because then I had a Cartman beanie that I wore. So I started, I think I did one song with the Deadpool mask on and the robe, which was, like, way too much to have on your body, because I had, like, 3 other things on at that time. So I did that, and then I went into the Cartman. You better burp real quick. Dude, that sounded like you threw up. Oh, God.
A little bit.
I told Brian to bring lube for his voice, and boy, did he. Yeah, dude. These mics are. If we use the other microphones I usually use, then you would have been able to hear every single atom in that thing rolling around. But yeah, that's like okayed on the ears. That's not bad at all.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah, but Halloween is I think it's. I don't know. I think it's plenty of attention every year, but I don't think it gets enough. I haven't had like a quintessential that was the best Halloween ever yet. I haven't done that because I want to play a show for it. I want it to be ultra hype. And I'm young enough still to where like it's still fine to like try to do that, where I don't be like, am I like 33 and be like, all right, this is the year, because Halloween's on a Friday this year. I remember looking at it was like I was like 9 years old. And Halloween was on like a Tuesday, and I was like, I could go to school tomorrow. I want to eat candy and like watch Austin and Ally or something, right? Something like, memorable. And then you had to wake up. So then I looked on my iPod like calendar app, and I was like, when will Halloween fall on a day that is like sick? And then I was like, all right, when I'm 15, I'll have a good Halloween. I'll be in high school. I'll be an adult by then. I'll be 15. I'll be an adult. And then that's when COVID happened, and I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. No. So this Halloween's the first Halloween where that might be possible, but I don't know, I probably won't really have a band for it. So hopefully I can just go to a rager where like I might be Walter White again. Have you seen Breaking Bad?
I have, yeah.
Good.
I didn't watch I think I got mostly through it, and then I never watched Better Call Saul or El Camino.
Better Call Saul is a slow burn. El Camino you can watch anytime. It's just like an hour and a half long movie. There's also like a nice 10-minute long like little documentary they did about it, where there's a bunch of scenes where they had to build this elaborate ass set where they have like this big bird's eye view shot. It's really cool. I think the movie's really, really good. I just think I wish they would have done it sooner so that everyone would look more like how they did in the show. But Better Call Saul though, it's a very divisive show because everyone's like pretty sure Better Call Saul's better, and I was like pissed off about that until I watched it, where I was like, dude, nah, no way. But then last April or March or something, I turned it on for the first time, and I was like, oh my god, and here's why I think it's better. I think they did Breaking Bad. It's fucking great on its own, all 5 seasons and stuff. But then if they wanted to do a prequel, they have that option. And then they knew exactly where they're going to end up, and they did a whole show before. So they had the experience going into Better Call Saul, and they knew where it was going to go. So they can just have fun in the middle. And they did a really good job with that. I binged it I think I watched season 5 in one day. And they're all like hour long. It was like 10 hours on my ass. It was ridiculous. But that was 18-year-old Luke. Now I'm Big Bad 20.
What you doing at Big Bad 20?
Well, I have a podcast. I have a full-time job. I do comedy. I'm in a slew of bands, do some drum covers. I got some stuff going on. I jerk off. That's one of the things on my weekly agenda. Shout out to jerking off. 7, not even 8 minutes into the episode.
Masturbation.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, this would be a good clip. I think I was 11 when I had my first real ejaculation, because up to then it was just like clear. It was like I'm just trying to test your water, see what you're gonna talk about or not. I'm sure you got a penis, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep.
I got stories.
Oh, you got stories?
Not really.
Live a little longer, then we'll tell some stories. So okay, so what? Are you 17 or 18?
I just turned 17 a couple weeks ago.
Sick. That is good. I just got a job at Walmart at that point in my life. You should work at Walmart if you're in high school. I think it should be a completely high school ran institution where it's only open after school every day. It used to be bonkers in there. It trains people to weren't managed through stress. Maybe every high schooler should work at Walmart if they want a job, because some Walmart adults are just despicable human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a job?
Not really a job, but I do like yard work.
Okay.
Occasionally.
Right. So you get by.
I get paid. Yeah.
Certainly. You don't have to feel like a W-2 or anything.
Right.
Yeah. You go, what the fuck is that? That's just a tax form that I don't even know how to take care of myself either. Well, with Walmart, it was a good introduction job, but I was very happy I didn't do yard work or shit like that, because I'm not an outside kind of a guy. Just isn't my thing. Couldn't get behind that. My brother, which you know my brother.
Mm-hmm.
These are total. We literally are the spectrum of boys when it comes to manhood. He's just way different than I am, but he loves outside work, or at least he does it more than I do. Mows his ass off. He knows how to get the lines right. He knows how to weed eat. He knows how to fix the weed eater. But what's like how many yards have you done in one day? You have like a record? You ever keep record of that?
Well, the equivalent So I've mown my like grandmother's lawn,
Mm-hmm.
and she has like 42 acres, but I do
Jesus Christ.
I do like 4 at a time. So I take it really slow. So pretty much the equivalent of like 2 or 3 yards, I think, in one day.
42 acres is crazy, dude.
Yeah.
How big is an acre? How many? I forget what's like the square mileage of that. It's probably ridiculous. Jamie, put it up for us. I need a Jamie. Hold on. Let's see. What is the square yardage? Square footage. Square footage of a acre. Let's see. Let's see what housing.com has to say. Square feet. 1 acre is 43,560.00001 square feet. So I don't know much frame of reference for that, but 42 acres is quite a lot of land. That's like the Louisiana Purchase. Have you been that far into history yet?
No, not really. I had Mr. Harden a little bit.
Mr. Harden. I don't even know who that is, dude.
You don't even know who that is?
No.
Paul Harden.
Paul Harden.
Paul Harden.
P Hard.
Yeah.
You guys call him P Hard? I think you should for sure call him P Hard.
We just call him Hard.
You're hard. Did you ever have Mr. Schoolcraft at the middle school? You guys call
A little bit.
Yeah, well, I never. He's actually he's married into my dad's side of the family. He didn't marry my dad, but Jesse. He would like to be called Jesse in class. But I was always I'd always hear about that. You know who I had? I had Mr. Bain.
I love Mr. Bain. I had Mr. Bain.
You know Mr. Bain? Let's talk about Mr. Bain a little bit. Because I do have some teachers on the podcast, and I wonder what it would be like to have him on the pod.
He could have went pro. He could have went pro. That was his favorite thing to say in my class was he could have went pro. And he'd like roll a scroll out of his pants and show it to the whole class of a newspaper from the 90s of how he could have went pro back in the day.
Pro what? In football or?
Baseball.
Baseball. Dude, that's... All right. My dad and I would call... We have a certain saying about it. It's a movie reference, but it's like a real thing. That is classic Uncle Rico syndrome. Do you know who Uncle Rico is?
Sounds familiar.
It's from Napoleon Dynamite. And so Uncle Rico is he's just this washed up has-been guy, and he's always throwing, he always just eats steak and is just a really, I don't know, how do I describe Uncle Rico for someone who doesn't know who he is? He's a creep, first of all, but he reminisces over the past too much, and he likes to talk about how in the finals his senior year, if coach would have put him in, he said he can throw a pigskin a quarter mile.
Sounds like some Mr. Bain.
How many acres is that? I could have gone pro. That is fascinating. The old Jishwa Bain. We used to call him Jishwa because I was in a group chat years ago. It's funny to say, it was just in 8th grade, but that was a long time ago to me now. But we were called it the Bain Train and I don't know, we just picked a random emoji. It was me, Corbin Hamlin, Carson Pruitt, and motherfucker, what was her name? That's gonna bother me, and I bet there's no way she's listening. I haven't seen her in years, but that's gonna bother me. I forget her name, but we would just goof around in there a lot, and then so here's how his class worked. He would do a lecture 3 times a week, or maybe 2 or 3 times a week, and then the other days would be you read the chapter, and you have those 5 questions at the end. Does he still teach that way?
When I had him, he not necessarily lectures, but he would just stand in front of the front of the class. Yeah.
I guess that pretty much is a lecture in my opinion, but
yeah.
God, yeah, I never liked it. I never grasped it ever. Because I took history in 8th grade, and then they take it again in your junior year, which is a little more, you just do the same shit again. I don't understand why they did it twice. Maybe it's just a little more adept, I guess. But you do it all year again, and I was just God, let me play drums. Let me go back to jazz band in this period. But Josh, is he still plump as hell? Big guy. Yeah. I used to see him when I would play pep band games. He'd be, because his son Ian's a good guy like Ian. Not that Joshua Bain is a bad person. He just was kind of a dork because he was a history teacher. I just didn't respect his, not his craft. I just didn't respect the subject matter. I was I don't care about my country like that. Certain people love history, and those people are allowed to love history, but I'm just not one of those guys. But
I like history. It's pretty interesting for the most part. My stepbrother is friends with Ian. He goes to the gym with him occasionally. Cole Snyder.
I just saw Cole at the really.
Yeah.
Cole cut his hair off.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, yeah. I didn't say hi to him. I usually say hi to him, but I was like, I'm in grind mode. I have to I had like 25 minutes to do everything I wanted to do, which I nailed it. We got it just fine. And you were here pronto. I said 5:30. I rolled in at 5:23. I was early. You beat me here.
Yeah.
Look at that. Did you teleport? You ride a unicycle? Like,
I got my ways.
okay, all right. That's a good answer. I like that. Leave it open ended. That's cool. Hell yeah. But I said so. That's cool because I've known Cole since actually. Cole was the first guy in Cole and I's grade to get an Adam's apple. I was the second guy, I think.
Are you in his grade?
We graduated together. I've known him for, well, I guess he graduated early, I think. But yeah, we went to school all together for the whole time. I'm pretty sure. So you went through the middle schools and all that? Like it was 5th and 6th grade for you, correct? Like,
yeah,
okay.
Bell.
Yeah, Bell. So when Cole and I were there together, which is where I met him in 6th grade, it was split up into communities.
Mm-hmm.
Which is literally separatism, and everyone saw through it by like the 3rd week. They were like, all those pink community kids seem to be the smart ones. And some people disagree with me, but everyone agrees that pink was the smartest, and then green was the bottom of the barrel bad kids, which like, God bless those teachers. But then right behind pink was orange. Orange was like, A's and B's, but pink was like strictly A's. I don't know how I managed to get my way into pink. I was bottom of the totem pole in terms of pink, but top of the totem pole in terms of the broad spectrum of Bell. But I'm pretty sure Cole was in there with me. I do think that's true. I think we had Mrs. Gonzalez together. That was science and social studies, which was nice. But then there's blue and yellow, which are like interchangeable. Who's to say? They share 3 and 4 pretty fine. But pink is 1, orange is 2. Blue and yellow are tied for 3rd and 4th, and then 5th place was yards away. A whole grandma's 42 acres away was the green community, and that was, I don't know how they got away with that, because it was literally just like just put the bad kids all together, and boy did they. But then they'd mix us all up in our electives, so like gym class was a riot, but then math, English class, and the science and social studies was all people you knew from your community. But it just taught us like, it just showed everyone's cards immediately, and I didn't feel like I belonged there at all. So weird. But yeah, I know Cole Snyder.
I've been not necessarily friends, but I know of like a few more people from that grade, like Dallas Stedman.
Yeah, I know Dallas. I think he started playing drums recently.
Connor, I'm not sure his last name. He dropped out.
Okay.
I don't know his last name.
All right, I'm picturing a face, but I don't know his last name to the guy.
And then Elijah, I'm not sure his last name again.
Oh, does he always wear camo?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's, what is his last name? Elijah. Oh, I had him. He was in Mr. Trump's class with me a lot, and yeah, dude, a lot of scoundrels. What you're listening to, it's very funny. Dallas, Elijah, Connor,
and then Wyatt
McClure,
big, like tall.
Yeah, dude.
Yep,
big Wyatt. Yeah, he went to Perrigan with me. So did Dallas. I've known Dallas forever. We started the bus together. I should get him on the podcast. We had all kinds of memories to probably talk about. What is Elijah's last name? Because there's Elijah Shoemaker.
I don't think that's him.
That's not Elijah. Yeah, that's beekeeper Elijah. Yeah, but I can't remember his last. I'll have to get a yearbook out or something. I usually can just recall stuff like that, but I've been living around and out of school for a while, so hard to do. It'll come back to me later. But yeah, he's a riot, but he's a good guy. I think there was some like a product, or he had backpack and the logo on it. I think it said Flick or something, but then he widened it out the L into the I to make it say fuck, and he would just wear it around school.
And then I've heard the myth of a kid named Jimi Hendrix.
Oh my God, it's not fabricated. They spell how they spell his name. It was because Jimmy was spelled. So Jimi Hendrix, the real guy.
Jimi.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jimi Hendrix, the student. He was spelled Jimmy, standard. And then Hendrix was not with an X, but with a CKS. Wow, yeah, because I remember hearing, oh God, I did go to school with a kid named Jimi Hendrix. I forgot, wow. So, again, totally good, fine dude, right? I haven't seen him since freshman year. So it was like, I think he and I had Miss Randall together. Do you ever have Miss Randall?
I didn't have her, but I know who she. I know
Carrie
of her.
Randall. That means you had Miss.
I had Rafferty.
Rafferty, yes, she's great. I saw her at the fair this past few weeks ago, and I've served her at Greeks before. Great ladies, right?
Yeah.
They both have very different methods of teaching, and I think Miss Randall was more like, do what I say, motherfucker. Like it's one of those things. But she had us do like one of these projects once, and Jimi Hendrix was my partner, and he had like the beginning of Spider-Man 2 where he has like Tobey Maguire has like all the pizzas on like the back of his bike.
Yeah.
Jimmy was like referencing that meme a bunch, and then I started to debate him about what Spider-Man was the best, and he just didn't know what I was talking about. He goes, "It's just pizza time." He didn't get the context of the episode of the movie. I was like, "Oh, I like Spider-Man," and I was like, "Yeah, Andrew Garfield's my favorite." He's like, "What?" And he's very monotone, very rat mustache, like I wish if he had shaped up his face a little bit, he could have looked a little more presentable, but he just didn't care. I kind of respect that because I definitely care about my appearance, but he was just like, whatever, let it be like the mouse guy from Ninja Turtles. What's his name?
Master Splinter.
Thank you, Splinter. But like one of those like Oriental mustaches where it just grows over. He was working on one of those, just like the ends are peach fuzz, but the stumps are like actually like puberty beard. Yeah, dude. Where if you zoomed in on it, it'd be like there's like the most gradual taper of all time. Just from the get-go hair. It's wild. What a wild guy. But yeah, it's what a deep dive. I forgot about that. That'll occur to me from time to time that I know Jimi Hendrix, but I haven't seen him in 5 years probably.
It's a deep cut.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Spider-Man, what Spider-Man is the best? You still like Andrew Garfield the most?
I do, yeah. So, all right, here's the thing. So, I guess we want to split up into live action because I understand why they had Tom Holland come and replace Spider-Man again because in my opinion, the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans do not need to exist. They don't add anything really, but I just like that version better. Mm-hmm. But I was also introduced to it first, right? So I think most people who are introduced to Tobey Maguire, that set the tone for Spider-Man for all they know. And then if you watch Tobey Maguire first, it's more loose comic booky kind of, not really slapstick, but it is a little corny, and I don't really believe Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man more than I believe Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. And then you kind of have like that classic Peter Parker character where he's kind of a wimp, and like
I think Tobey played that character really well. Peter Parker.
Yes, but I was always like, man, you can't. I'm like, I get it. You're supposed to be like, oh, he's Peter Parker by day, but then like he's also this bad. I'm like, you can't be a badass Spider-Man guy, but I just didn't make any sense to me because I just thought the Andrew Garfield ones, which before I say it, I know it's absurd. I thought his Spider-Man was the most realistic. If that makes sense because he's like, just the way, just like a lot of the montages in the first movie and also the second one too. The Andrew Garfield ones. There's like him just like grinding out, like he's like, I gotta figure out where my dad, like of all my dad's stuff, or it's like, where the hell's Gwen going? It's like, I've always wanted to attach. I wanted to like be in like that mindset where it's like, I have a clear objective. I'll do whatever it takes. I need to get red tape. I need to get a bulletin board and I move my room around. And it's like very small things. But I was like, you know what? I think I am Spider-Man. I'm juggling, comedy and drums and podcasting. I'm like, yeah. I got web shooters. It just comes in different ways, and that's I've never really said that stuff out loud. But I think about that all the time. I just love Andrew Garfield's also just a way better actor. At least than Tobey Maguire was back in the 2000s. Tobey Maguire's been all kinds of shit now, but I just favor the Andrew Garfield ones. But then the Tom Holland stuff, that's way more like Marvel World everything, But I did love when they brought them all together for No Way Home. That was a big moment. That was my junior year that came out, which was really cool. So I don't know. Tom Holland is like, I think he's a good in between. Like he's a good Spider-Man, but he's kind of an Iron Man cuck,
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
I mean, he had him build his whole suit for him.
Yeah. But I think I like the self-made aspect of Andrew Garfield's, because you see more of how like the phases of like the suit to suit, where he's like he just has like a red mask on with sunglasses, just like
Yeah.
roaming around New York City.
I liked I think it's the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire, how he had like the wrestler mask on and like the little like sweater.
Yeah, him and Macho Man.
Yeah. I liked that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Am I the first person on the podcast since Ozzy Osbourne's died?
Yeah. Yeah, you are. Dude.
Yeah, dude.
Very upsetting. I actually have a stand-up clip coming out on Friday about that, and I wonder if I should play it or if I should just talk through it, because if I play it, then I feel like, whatever. I'll just say it. Ozzy died, which, I'm not the biggest Ozzy fan in the world, but I know he's beloved, and I was like, that's a big hit to everybody who loves him. I think he had a few more years in him, in my opinion. But then it got overshadowed by Hulk Hogan, like 2 days later. I think Ozzy died on like Tuesday, and then Hulk on Thursday, and then Friday Chuck Mangione died. Right?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. It was very big. Yeah, you seem actually disheartened by all this. I'm so sorry.
Hulk Hogan.
Whatever.
Yeah, but Ozzy and Chuck Mangione,
Uh-huh.
I think Chuck was a very great jazz musician.
Flugelhorn trumpet guy. Because I didn't really know who he was, and I guess I did because he was like in the Art Blakely, Art Blakely. Yeah, because my very loose jazz knowledge from jazz band is fading away. But I know he just seemed like a name, but like it didn't seem like he was much of an icon in that group of guys where it's like, this week, guess who died? It's like Ozzy Osbourne, Hulk Hogan, and then wait, who the fuck is that? And who's Chuck? And I feel like he's a very niche guy, and so the bit that I have the clip coming out is it's all just a means to get to the Rizzler in the joke, and you'll see it on Friday. I don't want to spoil anything else actually, but I did hear about that. It was like my first topical joke, It's very hard to you got to be quick in this game. You got to be like, oh, this new thing happened. Let me get my take on it and stuff. But yeah, so didn't Ozzy like play a show like 2 days before and then just croaked?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Back to the beginning. It was so many legendary bands came together for that. Like any band that's been inspired by Black Sabbath pretty much came forward to that. And then he didn't keep a dime from the show, and it was the biggest fundraiser of all time.
Whoa.
It raised...
Did not know that.
I mean, it was only a 6-hour concert. It raised $200 million. And the Osbournes didn't keep a dime of it. It all went to Parkinson's disease cures and musical schools and things
That's
like
awesome.
that. Yeah.
Wow, $200 million?
$200 million.
You said just a 6-hour concert. That's a long show. But for the fact that it raised that much money in that amount of time, it's crazy. That is wild. I had no idea about that. He just isn't like really in my radar, because I wasn't a huge Black Sabbath guy growing up at all. But of course, everyone just knows who he is. He's one of those like household names, of course. But then Hulk Hogan died, and I was like, yo, what the hell's going on, dude? That's crazy.
Something in the air.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, there's a guy named his name is Alex Price. He's a comedian from Indianapolis, and he took a screenshot of a comment he made whenever Ozzy died. Like the next day, he was like, bro, Hulk Hogan's next, mark my words. And then like the day later, it did happen. He was like, that's Death Note shit. It's over. I shouldn't have said that, but...
The day, Phil Collins, right? The day after Ozzy died, I said to my dad, I feel like Phil Collins is next, or Bruce Willis.
Oh,
I know Bruce Willis is also
certainly coming soon. Yeah, which is very, very sad.
Yeah,
I love Pulp Fiction.
The day after I said Phil Collins, he went into hospice the next day.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just like... We all knew Ozzy was going to die, but it's like, it was still a shock when he did.
Of course. Yeah, exactly.
People in the 70s said, like, he can't live much longer, and he was only 20 at that point, and then he lived to 76. He had a good life.
Yeah, he lived a lot in 76 years. Yeah, wow. But you just don't want those kind of, like a guy who, whenever, like like Johnny Knoxville eventually dies. Like any like the Jackass guys start falling off. Like it's gonna be like the Beatles. So I'm like, we got 2 left. We've had 2 left for the past nearly 25 years. Paul and Ringo are holding on strong. They seem to be doing fine, but eventually they're gonna die. Eventually Mick Jagger's gonna die in our lifetimes. Like all these things, like Michael Jackson died. What year were you born?
I was born in 08, and
08.
he died in 09.
So we shared some time on Earth for a little bit. Yeah, I was born in 05, so yeah. Also, Michael Jackson wasn't, he could have done some better things.
Yeah, so could his doctor.
Yeah, certainly. Have you ever heard about like the documentary like Leaving Neverland?
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
I think they just took it down off of HBO. My mom and I watched the first half of it. It's like 4 hours long, and we just didn't want to watch the other half. We were just so disturbed because there's a lot of evidence pointing towards he's a total bad. He's undeniably a pedophile. It's very bad.
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. You could have done some things a little better. And you're like, oh, yeah, it's Dr. Till. Yeah, malpractice, overdosing, but doesn't beat sleeping with children in his bed. Good Lord. I didn't really, not that I was like being like a victim blamer or whatever, but I just was like, I feel like maybe some of those stories are a little inflated, but then all like the visual aids they had from like the 80s and the 90s and like the actual guys, volunteering the information themselves. I was like, oh, this is so bad. This does not look good for the Jackson family. But Michael Jackson also looked crazy towards the end. Like a lot of, I just, a lot of it has to do with, his child. They would say like his childhood got taken from him, but I think, a lot of that stuff got baked in at the same time. He's a one of a kind guy, and has like the most unique life of all time, and it just fucks with your head a bunch. That's terrible. But Ozzy's gone, Hulk Hogan's gone. So now when I see like WrestleMania 3 posters where it's like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant, I'll be like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
Rematch up there. Or down there. Who knows where they were at.
He was like, Hulk was the first person to put Andre down.
I think so.
Pin him down, yeah. I'm not huge into wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I just got into it, but my dad was huge into it. And he saw... he was actually there for the pay-per-view for it was Hulk Hogan and The Undertaker back in the 80s.
Whoa.
He was there.
In the 80s? I feel like it had been in the 90s, but...
80s or 90s. I'm not 100%.
Yeah, because I think... Well, because I know a thing or two about WWE stuff like from years ago, but I'm pretty sure The Undertaker was like an early 90s thing, and then by like the late 90s, him and Kane had like the Brotherhood thing, and then like the 2000s was like the traditional Undertaker we all know, where it's like the cap and like the eyelids and shit. And he's also like 6'10".
Yeah.
Crazy big
guy,
motherfucker. Yeah. God, be that fucking big. He's crazy. But yeah, it's Hulk Hogan's one big. It's a huge household name. So is Ozzy, and it just sucks. Sucks to happen. But yeah, you're the first guy to be on the podcast since that, because the last time I recorded was July 19th, I believe. So it's been a few days, been over a week. That'd be a fun episode though when it comes out. I had 5 guests on
At the same time?
Mm-hmm. It was a half of my band from Muncie, and then it was 3/4 of this other band we opened for called the Obscene Sardines. Good times, good boys. Those are a lot of fun. If you're listening to this episode, that means you've already listened to episode 19, or at least you should have. But I'll tell you the details. Basically, it's the first quarter, the first third of it is me just talking about everything, because I want to get clip material so I can like post it on Instagram and stuff. So it's me sitting in my room with like lights and stuff, talking to the microphone. Then the second third of it was recorded last, because the last third of it is just chaos, and I was like, I can't have this be the intro. It was too many people talking over each other. They were eating on the microphone. I was like, dude, no, none of that. So we started pretty fresh. It's pretty all right. But yeah, I think so. Yeah, that was the Saturday before Ozzy and Hulk. So yeah, tough, man. You don't want that to happen.
Not at all.
But it was fun at work to talk about who was next, though. Where I was like, I don't know. Bruce Willis I think it's a very realistic answer. I don't want that to be true, but I bet you're right. But then someone said that Clint Eastwood died, but then that was not true. I looked that up when I got home, and I was like, he's still kicking. I don't know how. Who the hell knows how he's still kicking, but...
I think he's, 90
He's
something?
like 93 or 95.
And then, like you were saying, Paul McCartney's getting up there. He's like 83 or something. I know
certainly.
Ringo's even older than he is. And then
Ringo had health problems early on too, so it's crazy that he's still alive. He didn't get shot in the face, so that's pretty good.
or cancer.
Kill John Lennon.
And Bill Murray. I think he's somewhere up there.
That's a good pull right there. Unfortunately, yeah. Wow, Bill Murray. He's in all kinds of Wes Anderson stuff. He's in Scrooge, of course, Groundhog Day, Ghostbusters,
Zombieland.
Yeah, Zombieland. That's right. Yeah, shit. Yeah, he's been
Garfield.
Around. Oh yeah, like like the live action one.
Yeah,
where it's like the tale of two kitties.
Yeah, and it's like terrifying.
Yeah,
looking,
yeah. You don't like that? You don't like CGI Garfield?
No, I don't.
07?
Like
Oh, well, and Garfield's Indiana Pride, man. What's that guy's name? Jim Henson's the Muppets.
I was just reading something about him.
We got Google. We got Wi-Fi in here. Look it up real quick. Maybe do you want me to look it up and then if you look a little longer and then if you give up, I'll tell you the answer immediately.
Sure.
Like who it is. Who invented Garfield?
Well, I'm pretty sure he's from maybe Plainfield. I'm not 100%.
Yeah. I want to say Gary, but that's where Michael Jackson's from.
Yeah, I'm not.
Maybe he was born there, but who created
Jim Martin?
Garfield?
Maybe I'm not sure.
They're very close. All right, okay, you have most of that correct. You're in the ballpark of your guess was Jim Martin. Mm-hmm. His last name is a traditional first name, I guess. Maybe not.
I have no idea.
His birthday just passed. He just turned 80 years old.
Yeah.
Is that why you're probably like reading about him?
Yeah. I have no idea what his last name is.
Motherfucking Jim Davis.
Jim Davis. All right.
That's a solid name, dude.
Oh, what I was reading about was there was this amusement park in the 80s somewhere here in Indiana, and they had a Tunnel of Love.
Tunnel of Love.
And apparently people were getting really freaky on that ride.
Loving that shit, yeah.
And then they destroyed the Tunnel of Love and made it the Garfield Tunnel of Love, pretty much.
Okay.
And it was a Garfield-centered horror ride.
That's why.
And people were still getting freaky on it.
Just Odie wearing a Scream mask?
I don't even remember what the visuals were. They were pretty cool. You had to wear these, like, almost 3D glasses so everything would pop out.
Okay. That's pretty. I like interactive rides like that. That's pretty cool.
Figured that out through Joe Bartolozzi. You watch Joe Bart?
Joe Bartolozzi?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
He's a streamer. But his YouTube videos are funny. He's a great.
Does he do like essay type videos almost where it's like there's like a topic and he just kind of there's like chapters to it and stuff?
Well, he does a bunch of random stuff. He'll like react to videos.
People still do that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I used to watch the shit out of those.
He makes like that's his stream. His stream schedule is like reacts for like 5 hours at a time.
Oh my god.
He does games. He's a philosophy major actually.
Oh, okay. So he can probably speak on some shit.
Yeah, but he was talking about it. You should check him out. He's really funny.
Okay. Jim Bartolozzi.
Joe.
Sorry,
Bartolozzi.
Jim Davis, Jim Martin, Jim Henson.
All of them.
All the J names. Joking. Speaking of horror, so not to classify you, but you look like you've enjoyed a few horror movies from time to time in your upbringing. Like maybe you got exposed to them a little too early. Oh,
of course. I still remember. I still remember the first horror movie I ever saw.
What was it?
Freddy vs. Jason.
Okay, mine was the third Freddy movie, right? It was Nightmare on Elm Street, Dream Warriors. Okay, all right. This is a good topic. We might get a clip out of this. This is pretty good. So, can you rank? Have you seen all of them? Like all?
Yes.
Okay. I've only seen the kill count for the remake, but I had the
James
DVD.
James
A. Janice. Yes. Great. Fantastic. I'm glad I waited almost 40 minutes to bring this up because I don't want to burn like the best stuff early on. My mom she'll find these like shirts at Goodwill sometimes, and she recently just came and like gave me one that had like Chucky, Freddy, Eraserhead, Jason, Michael Myers, like all the characters like on the shirt, like and I was like, you know what? I bet Brian knows a thing or two about that. You just have a certain chill vibe where you're just like, nothing scared me, bitch. I know those Freddy knives from miles away. Fuck a boiler room. He's not there. Yeah. He's retired in 03. He hasn't done that shit in over 20 years. So Freddy vs. Jason is like, okay. All right. I wonder. Get your notes app out, or like somewhere you can type it, and then I'll vamp over us typing out just put the number in an order, like from obviously I like the first one the best. I'll spoil that, so I'll put 1, and then the ninth one's my least favorite. So like 1 through 9, and then rank them from top to bottom. Because I think I should have a notes app of this somewhere. It should be under my shits and stuff folder. Nightmare. Where's it at? Nightmare on Elm Street movies. Freddy? No. Trying to look it up. Maybe I just got rid of it. All right, I'll make a new one. Because there's 9 movies, and there's the Nightmare on Elm Street series. It's so fun because of how much variety there is. You know.
Yeah.
Because it's basically monotone for Friday the 13th. You kind of Halloween's kind of the same way, but a lot of the Halloween movies kind of shitty until they get revamped. But they've also been redone too many times, in my opinion. But the Rob Zombie ones are badass.
The Rob Zombie ones are my favorite.
Yeah, they're crazy. Oh god, that dude. Listen, I watched the first Rob Zombie one when I was 11. It was a day before. It was a day of my first concert playing drums in front of anybody ever. I watched that movie, and there's like hardcore nudity in that. And I was watching it home alone, and I was like, "This is." Even I'm trying to get a parent myself. This is a little too much. Like, let me bring it a little bit bigger. You know, it was like Bush. You know, a few times, and like more nipples than there are actual main characters. It's crazy, and just the gore's wild too.
That's just a Rob Zombie thing.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, so I think I already know mine. I don't need to write it down. I think I can just say them. So, all right, well, let's talk about our first one together. So, what's your favorite one?
My favorite one is probably Elm Street 2.
Really? You like the second one the most?
Second one.
That's cool.
It's just like something about it. I like because it's a continuation, and I do think Freddy is a lot like darker.
I think he's the darkest in that one.
Scary.
Yeah, he is scary in that one.
And
because he puts like his skin back and stuff. And,
yeah,
he's lit all gross. So he's all slimy as hell in that one too.
It's also no offense to gay people whatsoever, but the gay jokes and the gay atmosphere in that movie is pretty funny.
Yeah.
There's a whole shower scene where like Freddy possesses like a whip or something.
Yes, he does. I forgot about that. Adidas coming. That's when the second one. Yeah. Shit. Yeah. That's funny as hell. Wow. Yeah. So the second one's your favorite.
I love that.
Wow.
movie.
Yeah. Okay. Damn. All right. I'm pretty sure I have mine's pretty like mid on my second one's pretty mid on my list. My favorite is just the first one. I think it's just iconic as hell. I remember watching it for the first time in my room. My uncle Nick, my mom's brother, my godfather Nick. He has all the horror movies like on DVD and stuff, and I was like just peruse through and be like, one day I'll be old enough to watch these. And then I finally was allowed to watch the first Nightmare on Elm Street, and I like knew the song and everything, but like the fact that it's like it's an original story and it's based off like real people like actually dying like in their sleep. I think it's like the actual boogeyman. It's like what people say. I think these like people from out of the country they were immigrants and they kept dying off as a community like one by one in their sleep and everything. And I think that's what inspired Wes Craven to make it. I love Heather Langenkamp as Nancy the most in that. She's my favorite. Like the way she plays Nancy in 3 of them. So, but my favorite rendition is that. I used to have a huge crush on Nancy, biggest crush on Nancy growing up, and it was like wow, I was like watching it like 2014. The movie was 20 years old back then, and I was like, I hope she looks the same. And I'm like, give me 10 years, and then maybe I can link up with her. She'll be like in her 50s or something, or maybe damn near her 60s or something. Point is, it's like a nostalgic crush where it's like it's completely fantasy and unrealistic, but. I think I'm trying to say something else about. I heard someone say this on a podcast. His name is Ronan Hirschberg. The last time I talked about him, I was sitting right here talking to Mr. Smith. He has a podcast called "Your Favorite Movie Sucks," and he was talking about how the best horror movies, or like the best horror premises, are when the horror is inescapable. Mm-hmm. And they introduced the idea of him being in your dreams at the very beginning. And I shit you not, I think it's the smartest like demon related guy ever, because if you're scared of that movie, you're gonna have nightmares about it, and it's the realest thing ever to have Freddy Krueger in your nightmare.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god,
Just a constant circle.
it's exactly, and so you're consumed by it. So it covers all those boxes, you know. So the first one's for sure my favorite. It makes it just nostalgic as hell. John Saxon as the dad.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp. You get introduced to Johnny Depp in that movie, yeah, for sure. Yeah, wow, damn. So that's my number one pick. Number two for you?
I really like A New Nightmare.
Okay, New Nightmare's I think it's my number 3 pick. So, but New Nightmare is great. I love that because that's when the first time Wes Craven came back.
Mm-hmm.
Which he's dead now, is he not? I think he is. I'll check that real quick. This is almost I've googled some stuff on an episode. Wes Craven.
Yeah, Wes Craven is dead.
Yeah, that's what I thought. When did he die though? I forget. Like 2011 or something. 2015. Okay, because he was because New Nightmare came out in '94, Scream came out in '96, and they're both very meta, you know. And I remember watching the 7th one. I was like in middle school when I watched that for the first time. It was like on Netflix. And I watched it on my laptop in my room. Luckily, it was daylight out, but I was like, oh fucking hell, you know. But that's I think it's a very creative premise too, you know. So why do you like it so much? For it to be your second pick.
I like that. Well, Nancy comes back.
Of course.
I like the kind of the movie within a movie thing in that, and just the premise with the little boy adds so much more fear into that.
And he's literally Gage from Pet Sematary.
Yeah.
So, everyone's. It's a thing full of legends.
So it's, yeah, exactly. That's another reason I like it so much. And I like the when they brought back the scene from the original where they like tilted the room upside down with the actress in it. They did that.
And you see what James A. Janice says in the kill count is so you kind of get to see like the behind the scenes of like what Freddy looked like in that.
Yeah.
Because you know he's wearing like that green like the trench coat and stuff, so he looks a little more like gangster vicious. But yeah, that's a pretty good And then Rex.
Yeah.
And he has like the kid has like his poopy pants face. What he says. Yeah, that's a good scene. I haven't watched that one in a long time. But yeah, I think it's the greatest one to follow a shit movie.
Yeah, Freddy's Dead.
Freddy's Dead sucked. But I'll tell you, it's weird where that one's placed on my list though. We'll get to it later. But yeah, 7th one's great. So my first one so far was the original. Yours was the second. My second favorite is Dream Warriors because we talked about it already. It was the first movie I ever saw boobs in ever. I didn't even know what I was looking at, but I was like, let's pause that. Let's back it up. I was like 5 or 6 years old, I think. It was, I watched it like probably like the halfway through the second act to like maybe the beginning of the third act. So I had like the whole chunk there, like the most important parts of it, like the guts of it. And then it took me years to rewatch it, where I was like, oh, that's what that was. This is just exactly what I was watching back then. But I think the third one is just like. I wish it was not the shit in the second one. The second one should exist, but I feel like the third one would have been way better if it was like a direct sequel where you know whenever Nancy comes back and now she's like has the gray streak and she like has she's trying to lead all the kids below them and everything. The kills are really cool. All the characters are really fun. Let's see. So what else is? Oh, and also I think it's the first time Freddy kind of becomes like kind of sick because by the fourth one he's like the coolest guy. He's like in pop culture, but the third one he's retaining his like oh my god what a demon creature, but he's on the rise of being like a and also like welcome to prime time bitch. It's very very quotable, and he's like I think it's probably Robert Englund's like one of his best performances because like when they're in the boiler room and Joey's strapped to like the mattress thing and then like your wish is my command. He does like all like the weird like physical stuff. That's always really fun. I love that a lot. And just like it just boobs. just that's my shortest answer. So what's your third rank?
Probably the original.
Okay.
Same reasons you said,
yes.
But it's just
you just feel stronger about the other ones above it.
A little overrated. I do think he deserves to be up there with Jason, Michael, and like Leatherface with that movie. But I've seen it too many times.
It's just like my favorite horror movie. I've just also seen it so many times. It's like comfort food, But yeah, I think that's a very solid list you have so far. So yours is 2, 7, 1. Mine's 1, 7. No, 1, 3, 7. Right? Okay, great. So what's your fourth pick?
I really like Dream. So is Dream what's first? Dream Master?
Dream Warriors first.
Master.
Because then they recast Patricia Arquette as Kristen. Because then Kristen is a Tuesday night in the fourth one. Fourth one's one of my favorites, actually. Is that the one you're talking about, the Dream Master? That's when it introduces the characters that take over the Dream.
Yeah, the ones that have like powers.
Yes.
Yeah, and
that goes into Alice, and so then
Yeah.
Dream Child's number 5.
Yeah, so number 4.
Number 4 is your
pretty
fourth pick.
good.
That's your fourth pick. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. So my fourth pick is. I think my fourth pick is also the fourth one. Yeah, because mine goes 1, 3, 7, 4. Yes, because my top 3 are the 3 Nancy ones, the Nancy trilogy, and then Dream Warriors 4. Because I just hello baby, I love that guy so much. I just rewatched the fourth one not that long ago, actually. I think so I had the first 4 on DVD for a long time, and I didn't watch 5 through 7 forever. Like I just knew 1 through 4, and then Freddy vs. Jason. So I've watched those 5 movies the most, which is probably why they're up. I think most of those are in my top 5. But anyway, I think we agree on Dream Master being number 4. But it's weird because like that movie, if you removed Dream Master and you go from Dream Warriors to Dream Child, you're like, what the fuck happened, man? Because like the tone changed, like the way it looks changes a lot. Freddy's makeup's all weird, and like none of the characters anymore, and there's not a single character from the 5th one to the 3rd one. That 4th one's very crucial to the Dream trilogy. There's Dream Warriors, Dream Master, and then Dream Child, and then it goes Freddy's Dead. Right. So just to recap for the listeners. Mine's 1, 3, 7, 4. Yours is 2, 7, 1, 4.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Number
then
5 for you. Or you go ahead on Dream Master.
The rest, I can't really give reasons for because they're all just going to jumble together in my head. But I say 3.
3 is your number 5 pick? Okay.
Like what you were saying with Masters is like it's a very crucial part in the story.
Mm-hmm.
So you could watch that and then 5 and completely skip over 3 and be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But 4 is very crucial, so I'm going to go with 3.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with Warriors.
I like that answer. Yeah, that's good. Okay, cool. So 3 is your number 5. My number 5 is number 2. Certainly number 2. Because it's just like Freddy's still scary. There's no campy bullshit yet. And I do like how the house kind of becomes a character.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. And Freddy has like that pool party lashing scene, which is pretty dope.
I think that's where he got most of his kills from.
I think for certainly he did. Yeah, dude. Because that's the only time I think it happens like that. And I think what's the guy's name in that? What's the lead's name? I don't know, but he does a great job though.
Yeah,
He just seems horrified the whole time. Sweaty ass guy. Yeah, I've seen the second one a substantial amount of times though for me to be that familiar with it. The bus scene in the beginning is fucking super super scary. That's a really good cold open too.
Mark Patton. It plays Jesse. In the second one.
That's his name, Jesse. That's right. Yeah. And I don't think he was out of the closet yet, but he certainly is gay in real life though. Yeah. Yeah, it's a good, I think James A. Janice was like, in the kill count you talked about, is like, dude, some people don't like it just because it's gay. He's like, I say fuck that. It's like me, a lot of gay gals or gay guys and girls need a movie too to fondle over. So this serves for that, and it's pretty progressive. It's like in the mid '80s. Came out '85.
Yeah,
I know all the years that all the movies came out. No, the first one was '84, second one '85, none in '86, and '87, '88 was Masters, '89 was Dream Child, and then '91 was Freddy's Dead, which I'm assuming it's low on both of our lists. And then 1994, 10 years after the first one, which I always like, the 10-year thing, was a New Nightmare, and then 2003 was Freddy vs. Jason, and then 2010 was the remake, which whatever, who gives a shit about that one? We can agree that is that have you seen that one? Is that above
Yeah,
any?
Jackie Earl Haley.
Yeah.
I think it's I think Freddy's Dead is the worst,
Mm-hmm.
but I'll put the Jackie Earl Haley one right above that.
Okay, so you
A
think
little bit of spoiler,
number
but
okay, all right. Maybe that makes me want to watch it now because I know it's like I think the 2010s is like starting to become kind of nostalgic, especially early 2010s. Like I think it came out in 2010. Yeah, so like the fashions changed a lot. Like those like slack beanies and stuff are probably a big part, and like the stripes and stuff. But I think what they use like the hypnosil drug probably I think, and I've only seen the kill count a few times, but I don't know. I was like anything with that Robert Englund, I was like nah. But okay, so just a recap. So my fifth pick was the second one. Your fifth pick was number 3. So my sixth pick would be. My sixth pick is honestly Freddy vs. Jason. Has to be. Is it really? I don't know. Freddy vs. Because Freddy vs. Jason. Last time I watched it, I was like, man, this is really stupid. It's so dumb, but it's such a good time though.
yeah,
And it
exactly.
was always on MTV when I was growing up. It was always on MTV.
I'm sure that's where I watched it the first time.
Yes. Mm-hmm. But like all the boobs are fake, and I'm like, I'm not crazy about that at all. You know, plenty of all naturals out there you could have hired. No. People always like, oh, but science. You know, the same way we enjoy air conditioned rooms, we should enjoy modern science fake boobs. I'm like, no, don't mess up with God painted.
I saw that for Freddy vs. Jason, the woman who played Jason's mom.
Oh,
He
yeah.
talks about it in the kill count, but they tried to get her for the intro scene, and she was like, I'm not doing that shit anymore.
Yeah, of
like
course.
the script was too bad.
And
it went through hell.
Something Palmer, yeah, I think.
Betsy Palmer.
Betsy Palmer, that's right. Yeah, that movie, yeah, they went through so... Because I think, when did Jason Goes to Hell come out? 93, I think? I think that came out in 93.
Yeah, and they had the teaser at the end.
Yeah, they did, it took them 10 years to pull it off. Wow, dude.
It's because, I think there were 2 different development companies. I'm pretty sure...
Paramount and
New Line Cinema.
New Line Cinema. You know your shit. Let's go. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I think it's very for sure true. And yeah, so I think Freddy vs. Jason just like it's really cool in that regard. And it's like I like the like a lot of the eras that I missed out on because every Robert Englund movie came out before I was born. Same for you, of course,
Right.
too. So I just like older movies that like I was born right after of. So 2003 is like right in that pocket of that time, you know. And there's like like a cool ass cornfield party and stuff. And
Yeah, I like the rave. And Jason's on fire.
yeah, dude. I really wish they had Kane Hodder play Jason for that. I'm not sure why they didn't. I forget, but I don't know. Also, I don't like how he has like long hair in the back in Jason.
I love his design in Freddy vs. Jason. I think he's cool looking.
I think they've had better ones.
Part 7, like New Blood era Jason
Yeah.
is undefeated.
Yeah,
Undefeated.
like when they take his mask off.
Well, even like when it's just like half of it's missing, like the bottom corner's missing,
Yeah.
and he's like a zombie. It's
Certainly,
awesome.
yeah. Because after Jason Lives comes out, yeah, he's all like, yeah, fuck yeah, it's very true.
And then 8, it went right back to Part 6 style Jason, which I didn't understand. Like
Yeah, when
his mask was like yellowed.
Takes Manhattan, but
Yeah.
they didn't like Detroit or something. Like it's
New York City.
yeah, but I think they had like the one shot or something, but I think most of it was filmed outside of New
And on
York.
a boat.
Yeah, and mostly on a boat. Yeah, whatever.
I don't think that movie is as bad as James says it is.
Yeah,
The ending is dumb.
It's
The
certainly
acid sewers.
because it's like little 9-year-old all rolled up. I'm like he's never looked like that ever. But yeah, I think I've seen the kill counts for those so many times. Damn.
And those were his first ones.
And but then the recounts are way better, you know. All right, so then we're working on 7, 8, 9, the last 3, which I guess is that all we have? There's 9 of them.
There's 9.
Yeah. So we did. What was your 6th one? So after Dream Warriors, I guess the one you have there would be
3.
Freddy versus would be you said 3 was number 5.
Okay, so then Freddy versus Jason.
Would be
Again, like you were saying, it's like it's so bad it's good,
mm-hmm.
and it was the first movie. I wish I would have ranked it higher the more and more I think about it.
Which we can totally do. I mean, whatever. Yeah. It's no one's. We're not carving the stone or anything. But all right, let's talk about the bottom 3. So 5, 6, and then the remake. So I think if I watch the remake, it might beat out number. I think 5 is the worst one. the Super Freddy, and then I just don't like Alice enough for her to be the lead. I just because it's like, well, you know, we went from Nancy and then to Kristen and then to Alice. I'm like, well, she's like the third girl to. And I'm like, no, I think it's the worst one. And like the little kid.
I liked the only kill that I really liked from those movies. I really like the one, and I don't know if it's 5 or 6, but where he turns him into like a comic book character and he shreds him up. I think that's pretty cool. I don't think that's too bad.
Yeah, but like the Super Freddy thing, where he's all bulky and stuff, and it becomes kind of cartoonish and everything. There's no scareness to it at all, and like you just don't like really get any of the characters. And then there's also I quote the fifth one a lot because whenever fucking what's like the boyfriend's name? I forget his name, but like he's at the graduation thing. He goes, "Let's blow this pop stand." Yeah. I say it all the time, and I quote the hell out of that. So that at least it has that token for it. But other than that, it's very forgettable. It doesn't really end anywhere. They were just kind of scrapped it after that because by Freddy's dead, they're just like, dude, let's go Looney Tunes on them. Freddy's Dead. I remember watching Freddy's Dead. I think I was in high school when I watched Freddy's Dead because I couldn't find it anywhere for like the longest time. Then I watched it and I was like, what the hell is this, dude? He literally pushes a bed of spikes like on his back for like the John Doe guy to fall out of the top. Yeah. And then like land. I'm like, dude, this, and then he leaves literally a hole in the ground like that looks like, oh god, that just no. And then like the don't forget the power glove. Yeah. Very bad. Very, very bad. I do love Carlos a lot. He's very fun. Well, the map says we're fucked. Like, so because there's a lot of lines in these movies that are like really like well delivered that I love a lot. I say them every now and then, but I don't know, and like that's like the first time where like, you know, they just try too many things in that one in number 6, but it is like a good time to like watch a bad movie. Yeah. And then at the very end they're like Freddy's dead, and then just roll credits. I'm like, that's it. And like the 3 souls, like that's a new thing they introduced in that movie. I'm like, we're almost done with the series, and then now we're learning about that. No, I think it was just Bob Shea just like trying to like pump these out again. You know, let's get them to come out.
I mean, they were doing like one every year.
Kind of, yeah. So the 80s had 4 or 5 movies come out. Yeah, 5 of them. Yeah, because they had 84, 85, 87, 88, 89. That's 5 different years, and then they all had movies come out, and then because Dream Warriors, Dream Child, and Dream Master are all in. It's like a perfect trilogy that for like those bundles of years. Yeah. So just to recap, my list officially is the original, Dream Warriors, A New Nightmare, Dream Master, Freddy's Revenge number 2, Freddy vs. Jason, then Freddy's Dead, the remake, and then the 5th one, because the more I think I do want to watch the remake, but I guess I haven't seen the remake, so I guess it has to be last at this point. But it just didn't. I feel like my opinions are so based off the kill count, which is bothering me now. But I don't know. So I'll just remind you what was yours, and you can make edits whatever what you said already.
So 2 at my number 1, and then New Nightmare, original. Masters, Warriors,
Freddy vs. Jason, I think was your next
Freddy
one.
vs. Jason, and then the remake, and then 5, and then 6.
Okay, glad we disagree on some of them, but they're basically more or less the same. We both have the 7th one in our top 3, and I think we both have the first one in our top 3, which I think should be in all lists. The first one just very, very good. Well, I've always wanted to do that with somebody. I bet that took up a lot of time too. Yeah, we crossed an hour doing that set. That was like at least a good 20 minutes or so, probably 25 minutes. That was good stuff. I don't think I'm too familiar enough with the Friday the 13th series to rank them, but I think my favorite one. I guess my favorite one and the best one are 2 different things, because New Blood is that's basically just like Freddy versus Carrie, right? Yeah, that's what the one they call it in the community. but the remake for the Friday the 13th, that's a really good remake. You seen that one?
Yeah.
That came out in 2009. So I think the same company made the remakes for both of those franchises, which has been and apparently they're working on the 13th, Friday the 13th. I saw a post about that this week. I don't know if we need it, but I'm gonna watch it. And that's for damn sure.
I liked Never Hike Alone, the fan-made films.
Yes,
those are really good.
That's really good. Yeah, that's real nice.
I like really underrated horror movie. Maybe not underrated, fairly rated. Return of the Living Dead. You ever seen it?
Oh, okay. That's what in the Night of Living Dead. Isn't that series or is it like a?
It's like a spin-off.
Okay.
It's not George A. Romero.
Okay.
But it really got me. The whole scenario is like there's this kid who works at like they ship off like dead things to like anatomy schools and stuff like that, and then they go down to the basement, and it makes references to Night of the Living Dead, which I mean, how could you not at that point?
Well, of course, because it's like in the title and everything. Yeah.
And they have these canisters of like dead bodies from the Night of the Living Dead, like the zombies that were in that movie, and they accidentally like hit a canister, and the air from the body like hits them.
Yeah.
And it turns everything that's dead inside of the field house is where they're or like a warehouse, like a medical warehouse. They go upstairs, the two dudes, and everything's alive. There's like a split in half human body running around.
Oh, wow.
And then so then they cut that up and they go to a mortuary that's right next door, and the mortician burns the alive body, and the air from the alive body like goes into the clouds, and it starts raining down this like acid rain, and it awakens a whole graveyard of dead.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Big old, just a disaster.
Yeah, straight up. But it's the whole the main group of kids are like 80s punks. Which it really made me listen to that era of music.
Let me look at that. Like, I can see if I can just get some visuals in my brain of Return of the Living Dead.
Tommy Jarvis, the actor for Tommy, not
Corey Feldman.
Not Corey Feldman, the other guy.
Where is he in Jason Lives or is he?
Lives.
Okay, because there's three of the guys that plays just Corey Feldman, and then it's the guy in number 5, and then they recast him. Same character, that old Tommy Jarvis for number 6, right?
Yeah.
Return of Living Dead. What's this guy's name? So it came out in 85. Is it Tom Matthews? No. Who maybe it is? I don't know.
It is Tom Matthews. Yeah.
I'm assuming there's a kill count on this.
There is. I watched it my dad. It's one of my dad's favorites too, but that's my favorite of all time. It's just it's got such a good atmosphere. Yeah. It's very dated and kind of stupid.
Yeah,
in today's terms.
But, of course. But like the 80s were, you can say that about most movies from the 80s that like went under people's radar. Of course, there's like a lot of the iconic ones like E.T., Back to the Future, all those ones. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I mentioned earlier. The Goonies. Ooh.
There's a few movies that like legacy movies that I need to see that I haven't yet, like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
That's on my list too, actually. Yeah.
Need to watch it really bad.
Yeah, I mean that list will. I mean, Mr. Smith talked about he has like a list of movies he needs to watch. So he just might grow forever until he dies. It's like I'll get to it whenever. It's just nice to have like a goal, over time where it's like, oh, maybe I should watch this. It's like, I have some time to kill, but the more busy I get, the more I find myself not even watching movies I like. I'll just watch them, just throw this on just because I know it. It's like comfort food. What are some of those movies for you? Like not even just horror, just like there's like certain rom-coms. I'm like, I fucking love this movie just because it just makes me feel nice.
Definitely Return of the Living Dead. There's a movie. It came out in 1999, but it's called Detroit Rock City.
Okay,
and it's about Kiss, and it's like a stoner comedy.
That's fun.
It's great.
Okay.
These group of kids are in a Kiss cover band, and
that's very fun. That's a good premise.
There's a Hawk. There's Hawk, Jay, Trip, and there's one more, the bass player. the bass player.
There's always like the fourth guy or third or fourth guy. You just don't know.
And then they go to their school, and wait. So Jay has Kiss tickets, but his mom is like super religious, and it takes place in the 70s whenever they thought that Kiss were like a satanic band.
Right. Yeah.
And his mom eventually found the tickets for the Kiss concert, and he burns them, or she burns them.
That bitch.
Yeah, the kid gets grounded and is sent off to a Christian school or like a Catholic school.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tripp calls on the school phone. He hears about like an advertisement. If you call in and you could name all 4 original members of Kiss, you would get tickets to the Kiss show in Detroit that night.
Oh.
So he ran off and called them, and then got the tickets, and then they had to go bust out Jay from the Catholic school, and Tripp. Well, they order a pizza for him, for the preacher, and
Preacher. Oh man.
And they put psychedelic mushrooms in his pizza.
Oh.
And so he starts tripping out.
Dude, that's what the shit they did to Captain Underpants, George and Harold.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some tomfoolery right there.
So then they bust him out, and they go to Detroit. There's more to it, but they go to Detroit, and they lose the tickets. Well, so they go into the office where they're supposed to pick up the tickets. Mm-hmm. And it turns out Tripp, he left the line too early. He was like, the radio host was like, leave your name and your address and everything so we can get these tickets to you. And he just hung up because he was so excited. Oh, wow. So they had to walk away empty-handed. Hawk became a male stripper for an hour to try to get money for the tickets.
That's fun.
Tripp saved a gas station from a robber to get the money.
Yeah.
Jay didn't get any money, but he lost his virginity in a confession booth at the end of the movie.
That's real cool.
And I'm not sure what the bass player. Well, the bass player. So
bass player. No one gives a shit about that guy.
He stole his mom's car so they could go to the show, and they picked up this woman off the side of the road, and they came back from the place where they were supposed to get the tickets, and the car was gone. So they were like, "What are we gonna do now that the car's gone?" So he goes off looking for the car, and the girls are still asleep in the car, but these two evil mechanics had stolen the car. So he gets the car back, and then they come back all empty-handed, and they don't know what to do. But during Tripp's section, he gets robbed in the process. He was gonna jump this kid for his Kiss tickets. And his brother was like this 6'5",
Undertaker looking man.
Yeah, and beats the shit out of him.
Oh wow, dude!
And
a lot of things happen in this movie, and you seem to recall all of it.
Yeah, I watched it once a month for like a whole year. It's so good.
It's very fun.
But
let's see.
Yeah.
No, a lot of the comfort movies that I have, it's there's a movie called Set It Up. It's only reason why I ever watched it in the first place was that Pete Davidson was advertising the poster for it on Netflix, and I was like, hey, I like Pete. And he's such a minor character in that movie, but it's Glenn Powell and then Zoe Dutch, and it came out 2018, I think. Zoe Dutch is in the second Zombieland. She's like the crazy girl that always spin shit off and everything, and then Glenn Powell's he's in Top Gun Maverick. He's in Anyone But You. But my introduction to him was in this movie, and I'm like, dude, what a heartthrob. Dude, what a guy, you know? But I've seen that movie so many times. There's a movie called Cube. You ever heard of this movie called Cube?
I've not.
I think I'm getting the name of that right. Should be. But it's... I think I certainly talked about this with Mr. Smith last time I was in here. But... It's like these 6 people wake up. They're all in these governmentally funded tracksuits, and they're in this crazy big ass structure full of these different cubes, and they have the top, the bottom, and all the sides all have doors to other rooms. So you could be in the middle of like this like one big cube. You'd be like 9 in this way, and then like 15 towards the middle. You're just locked in there, some big ass structure, and then it was really cool. It felt like theater because it all takes place in one space the entire time, and they could have just built one set and just like kept relighting it and just like recycling and like doing different camera angles and stuff. So to pull off a story like that in a very confined space always impressed me. So I've always loved that. I always liked that movie a lot for that. I watched it a bunch in middle school. Like I think I've seen it at least 4 times. Probably watched it 4 times and very quickly too. I love the first Saw movie, just like by itself. Like it just doesn't like really need a sequel, but then of course they got so many of them.
Saw 2, Saw 2 is my favorite.
Saw 2 is great.
Series.
Do you remember where you were when you first watched the first Saw movie? I have a really good story about that.
No, I don't actually. I'm surprised.
Well, I just remember seeing the poster a long time ago, like at my Uncle Nick's house. I was like, "What is Saw? What's that foot doing there?" It was like all gray. I was like, "I don't think I can handle a scary movie like that." But then it came up on Netflix, and as I watched it on my laptop after school one day. And I was 12. You know, I think when you're 12, you're like the most impressionable because you're just learning about the real world and stuff, the real world, and anything you find cool is like that kind of defines you for a little bit. You just run with shit, right? So I saw the first Saw movie, and that twist at the end, I was so fixated on this movie that I was watching it on my laptop in the kitchen doing dishes, and then I was like, I don't want to lose the momentum. I'm going to the bathroom. I'm gonna watch this on the shitter. I was in there for an hour. I'd finished shitting 20 minutes into it, which is a long shit anyway. But then I sat there just like I was like, I'm not getting up. I gotta watch. I gotta see how this shit ends. And I sat down on the bathroom just like with my mouth wide open, like whenever John Kramer gets up at the end. I'm like, what the holy fuck? This is crazy. And I was like, there's 6 more of them. This is before Jigsaw came out, and then I think Jigsaw came out like a few weeks after I watched it, which was like perfect timing to like be exposed to the series and then go to the theater and watch a new one, which was like, I don't know, Jigsaw's fine. It's fine, but it's then I saw Spiral and the drive-in, and then Saw X I wasn't the most impressed with because I was like, how does this work at the store? Have you seen Saw X?
I have not. I haven't seen. I didn't see Spiral or Saw X.
Mm-hmm. Spiral's, you don't need to watch Spiral, but I liked it a lot because Chris Rock and Samuel Jackson's in it, and Samuel Jackson's one of my favorite actors. Another comfort movie is Pulp Fiction for me. I've seen it too many times. I can quote the hell out of it. My parents both loved it, so then it's in my DNA to love that movie, and I totally do. You ever see a movie called Stand By Me?
Love that movie so much.
Great, because I used to call that movie. I was like, Mom, can we turn The Boys on? Not the show that came out,
Right.
But I mean, like, I just would call that movie The Boys. And I didn't even realize, like, watching it now. I just watched it, I think, like last September. I actually watched it in New York, where I bought a Yankees cap because I was like, this is customary to the movie, and I was like, I should get a Yankees cap. But then to realize that I was watching it when I was like 3 or 4 years old, where I could hardly use a DVD player, but I knew how to do it. There's just so much stank language in that movie, and like lard ass and all that. So I was just like, just watching it, and just being like, well, okay, all right, throwing up, okay, blue. It's all, everyone has the same color puke somehow. That's cool. And I just kind of knew what all the scenes looked like. I knew what everything sounded like. I didn't have any context, So that's a movie I've seen just my entire life. It's been on repeat. But now I love it even more because I have those nostalgic memories, but also just a really well done coming of age movie. Yeah, that's a good one for me.
Speaking of like coming of age movies, Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused that's another one of my comfort ones. Yes.
Dazed and Confused, The Breakfast Club. Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Those should be like a bundle,
Yeah.
Because what Dazed and Confused takes it was released in the 90s, but it takes place in the 70s. Which is dope as hell. Breakfast Club came out modern era thing. It's just old now. But then Fast Times is really fun because it's just like an anthology almost. Like there's like almost no plot to it.
Right.
I think all those movies none of those movies have plots. But you're just hanging out with that group of people the whole time. You just have a good time the entire time. Oh, Napoleon Dynamite! I said earlier is another one of my.
I've seen it, but I can't like remember it. It was one of those movies.
I feel like you gotta watch it when you're like, because I've heard that movie be like so people would like walk out of the theater during it. But then like the Vote for Pedro shirt got huge, and it kind of became like a cult classic thing. But it's 20 years old now. But I remember watching it when I was young. But not to get off the track, but it's another that's another movie where you get to introduce these characters, and there's no conflict. You just get to watch them interact with the world, and then the movie comes to an end. Just like, oh, the movie's over, tetherball. But Dazed and Confused, Breakfast Club, Fast Times. I think that is you need to watch those if you're a human.
Yeah,
it's just one of those. It's very good. You know those movies. Hell yeah.
Might be a little overrated, but super bad.
Oh, super bad. Yeah, coming of age, of course. Another one of my yeah, absolutely. Also in the vein of Judd Apatow movies, Pineapple Express, another big time comfort movie for me.
Juno.
Juno's was Michael Cera and the girl.
Ellen Page. Well, she goes by Elliot Page now, but Ellen Page.
Yeah. Yeah, I've not seen that, but I'm for sure aware of it.
It's great.
And then another Michael Cera movie after he got, successful after Breaking Bad, or Super Bad, was Youth in Revolt. It's like he's like of course he's like plays a really insecure guy really well.
Always.
But that he plays I think like he's like a split personality is like it's like a hallucination. It's almost like his Tyler Durden for Fight Club. I've only seen it once, very loosely. But then also Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah, great. There's who's the director for that? Because he does Hot Fuzz, he does Shaun of the Dead. Fuck, I know his name, but I'm not gonna know it until you say it. Oh, come on.
Edgar Wright.
Edgar Wright. Yep, one of those weird. Yeah, it's PewDiePie's dog's name, Edgar. That's good. Damn, dude. See, all right. So here's you like any artistic movies where it's like movies that are like
what the hell's going on?
Yeah, or yeah. Oh, have you seen? Oh God, have you seen Beau's Afraid?
I need to watch that movie so bad.
You do. I saw it in theaters when it came out. Because of course you're younger than me, so you would have been in 8th grade. So you should not have been watching it in theaters if you had the access to it. But I was the perfect age to watch that in theaters. I saw it in like a pretty packed theater in Bloomington. A lot of people, like young people, a lot of like just like people who appreciate weird art stuff. And it was. I don't want to talk about that movie at all to you because I want as many things to be a surprise as possible.
I'll write it down.
Yeah, it's I have the DVD, and if you need to borrow it, you're more than welcome because it is quite the film. I also have not seen Hereditary. Or in Midsommar, he does
Midsommar and
Hereditary. Yeah, those are two other ones. He has a few other movies. I think he's the other one coming out I think it's in theaters now with another Ari Aster movie, which is cool. Yeah, that's a movie. That's a really like a weird artsy one. But I just mean like maybe like a what's the word I'm looking for?
Avant-garde.
Yeah, but like ones recognized by the Oscars, or they're just kind of like like Good Will Hunting, like just movies that are like well made and like well known. But then I mean like the super artsy fartsy ones where it's like they're just very niche, where it's like you haven't seen this French film from 1935. Like no, I haven't. Want to know why? Because it came out 70 years before I had a breath of fresh air. It missed me, missed me with that. But have you seen any like old like Hitchcock movies?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Birds, Psycho, of course.
Have you seen Rear Window?
I've not.
Rear Window is one of my favorite movies of all time, I think. Ooh, have you seen The Social Network?
Yes, I have actually.
David Fincher. He's also directed Fight Club, which is my favorite movie of all time. Love Fight Club. I just like the vibes. It feels like I can like get some shit done in that world. It feels like I would be such a side character, but I just like how green it is, and it's like I like the 90s a lot.
That movie makes me feel like I need to take a shower.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, everyone's just so gross in that movie. I feel like I want to go brush my teeth every time.
Yeah, exactly. My favorite movie, I really like there's a few. One of them's called Fantastic Planet.
Okay.
It's a 70s French film, and it's I think it came out in 73, but it's just like a really it covers really like niche subjects. It's like talks about like fascism and like
oh wow, okay.
racism, but it's in a way. So there's the humans in this movie they're called ohms. I forget what they're aliens,
mm-hmm.
but I forget what they're called. But it's like if the aliens use humans as like slaves and animals, like they're like the equivalent of like ants to us. The humans are in that movie. So the aliens are like us, and the humans are the ants in that movie, and they use them as like slaves.
What's this movie called?
Fantastic Planet.
Fantastic Planet.
It's got a big blue alien with red eyes on the front cover. I just got the Blu-ray Criterion. They're my favorite. Yep, that's it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Eraserhead for weird movies. I love Eraserhead.
Well, that's David Lynch, right? She just died like last year.
And then there's a movie called Begotten that I like. It's a silent film, but it covers the story.
So you know your shit then.
A little bit.
Damn, you would have loved Mr. Smith's film class. Hope he does that again soon.
But it's black and white, and it covers the stories of the Bible very loosely. But it's almost in like a more how the Bible. I've never read the Bible. I'm not a super religious person.
Yeah,
but,
me either.
The Bible almost tells it from like a Jesus perspective. Begotten tells it in almost the eyes of like Satan is what it feels like. It's like super kind of gross. But it's a really interesting look on it. It's only an hour long, I'm pretty sure. It's pretty short.
Okay.
But it's a really good movie. Very artsy. Another big name in that like scene with like David Lynch and stuff like that is Harmony Korine. You ever heard of his work?
Mm-mm. Man, you have more stuff than I do, dude. Jeez, mister, you're even more hungry than I am.
He made a movie called Kids in 1995. It's a messed up movie. It talks about like
you had to pause. You're like,
yeah,
it's fucked up, man.
I mean, the whole part of the movie, the whole like synopsis is the kids probably no older from 12 to probably 17. They're like just having sex with each other, and they're like, it's like a pro or like a commentary on like AIDS. Because one of the characters ends up sleeping with another one, and then she finds out she has AIDS, and then dies at the very end.
Is it Forrest Gump you're talking about? That is part of the plot of Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Pity sex and then death.
But it's a good movie. It's a very makes you think. And then he also directed a movie called Gummo.
Okay, I know about Gummo.
Gummo's
super weird, right?
It's probably my second favorite movie.
Is Gummo? Is that the movie where they eat spaghetti in the bathtub?
Yeah, I met that kid, the dude, Jacob Reynolds. Hold up.
Was that like a horror convention or something?
Yeah, Days of the Dead,
wow.
I believe, or Horror Hound. I'm not 100% sure which one.
I met that kid.
I met a bunch of famous people, actually. There are quite a few.
Was it at the convention? Was it in Indianapolis or something?
Yeah. I've been to quite a few in Indianapolis, and I went to one in Chicago. That was a few years ago.
Whoa, dude.
And then I've met Bill Moseley, who played...
I know that name.
He played Otis in the Firefly trilogy, like House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and Three from Hell. And he played a character named Chop Top in Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
I don't think I've seen any of the Texas movies.
And then I've met...
Yeah, you've grown up a little bit, haven't you?
Yeah. Warrington Gillette, who played Jason in Friday the 13th Part 2.
Okay, sick.
And
so he's because that's like Baghead.
Yeah. And Felissa Rose from Sleepaway Camp.
Ooh.
She was really cool to meet.
That's awesome. Sleepaway Camp that's a very fun movie. I think I watched it pirated on YouTube a long time ago, like during COVID, I think. Yeah, that's a great movie. Damn, I love Sleepaway Camp. Because it's one of the movies I didn't know about until I watched the kill count about it, and I was like, oh, I think I love this. Like same with like the Belko Experiment, where I'm like, wish I would have just watched this. That's really cool. Was there there's like a convention center in?
Yeah, I think it's the Marriott Hotel in Indianapolis. Okay.
Cool. That makes sense.
And then I got to meet Alice Cooper.
Oh yeah.
A couple years ago, same era, and my biggest one is Corey Taylor from Slipknot.
You met Corey Taylor.
I met Corey Taylor.
That's crazy. I'm not the biggest Slipknot fan, but the songs I do know I love a lot, and his voice is so distinct. He also has I like the way he talks too. You know, it's
Yeah.
very like I would never think his voice could replicate what he does on stage. It's probably because he wears a mask when he does it on stage and whatnot. But then they had a song come out a couple years ago where it's him. Fuck, what's that? There's a song. Hold on, that's gonna bother me. I have to figure it out right now. It's very repetitive, but it's like a very good catch, a good.
Custer.
I think it is or it's a CMFT. Must be stopped.
Yeah, that's Corey Taylor's solo project.
Yes, this song. I'm gonna jam it on the way home. I want to get copywritten. Sorry, Corey. Make sure I have that downloaded. That's a dope song. That came out like 2020, I think. Yeah, it did. Dude, it's crazy that I lived through that year because it feels like that seemed like a year that was like always in the future, but then I feel like it just got taken away from us. I feel like it never happened. It's weird.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so weird. That's cool. I've met a lot of comedians that are like kind of up like some kind of low end guys. I've met people who know people, which is cool. But as far as musicians go,
games we play, man.
That's true. Yeah, I was about to say, I did get on stage and meet the entire band last September, and then I got to see him again in Columbus this past month. And then they knew Emin was on stage and like noticed me in the crowd. Was like, "Hey, we know you. You got on stage with us." And I was like, "Yeah, I did." That was surreal. I feel like I've talked about that too many times in the podcast, but I think you know most of the details. Have you seen the video of me doing it? Yeah. I have like the actual master file of that. It's like one of the first files on my MacBook when I got the Mac. I was like, I gotta preserve that forever. That was an insane experience because it was something I like visioned in my brain for like months before, and then I just knew that song really, really well. And then when I recorded the drum cover to it, I just kind of ingrained it into myself like a week before. And then I edited my ass off on CapCut that day, and I just posted. And then the lesson I learned is that you should always ask if you want something, even if you feel like it's out of your comfort zone.
Don't wait for it.
Yeah, you gotta go seize the day. And that's what happened. Because I talked to Ethan, the merch guy, Emin's brother, who got on stage later and played bass. And I was like, "Hey, Ethan, does Emin run the band account?" He goes, "Pretty sure, yeah, he for sure does." I was like, "Well, I've been reposting this video and everything," and then I just kind of got the word. And I was like, "If I could play, that'd be so cool." He's like, "I'll go talk to Emin." I was like, "All right, cool." So then we were watching the guy. His name is Brandon Bales, I think his name is. It was like the opening act. He's on his own. He's like a lot of cool pop music and stuff. He was playing all the instruments though, which was really cool. A lot of looping tracks. But I was like watching him, but I was like, "Dude, I don't get off. I just wanted to see. I just want to know if I got the word in." And then like right in the middle of the set, they were like, "Hey, is there a Luke in the audience?" And I like went pale in the face. And the friends I made with in line who were in front of me, they turned around and they were like, and I was like, "Oh!" And so then I tried to get on stage forward, and then it was like, no, go around. And I was like, "All right, perfect." And then people made perfect room for me. I just got on there. He was like, "How old are you?" And I was like, 19. He goes, "What?" Because I look just like this, just a little just slightly younger. Which I was like, "Yeah, well, young man." And then I put in Nick. He's the drummer right now. I put in his in-ears, and they turned the click on, and I was like, "This is the real shit. This is crazy." And then I flubbed the beginning because I didn't really understand like where we're at in the song. But then right before the first lyrics come in, I just hopped on board, and I was like, "All right, I've been preparing for this. It's time to show up." So then all of it was kind of a blur, but I remember how smooth and how well tuned that drum set was, how soft the throne was, and just how sick it was to see everyone from that perspective back there, where I was like, I need to chase this forever. This is the coolest thing ever. And then I gave everyone hugs on stage, and I just went right back in the audience, and I was just like, "Well, time to enjoy the rest of the show." That was crazy. And then I tried to do it again in Columbus, but I was like, "Dude, I'm lucky to do it once." But then I was also like, I should at least try again. I did, however, get to talk to Nick before the show, the drummer. He's a very nice guy. Softer spoken than I thought he was, and he's like a guy I look up to, but he's like, it's the closest guy to my age now, because they think he's like 24, 25 maybe, but like I think I might present older than him, but yeah, that's if I ever go on like a TED Talk thing, I'll probably tell that story. Where I'm just like, chase your dreams, dude. Because like, wouldn't it be the coolest origin story possible if they need a drummer, if Nick got hurt, something like that? They're like, you know what if that guy from Indianapolis is available? It's like, call me up. I'll just quit my job and go on the road. That'd be really cool. Because I need to make sure I got all those songs learned in time. But I'm sure they'll have a new album come out eventually. But yeah. So do you know, have you been listening to them very long?
No, just a couple since June.
Okay, sick.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was very cool. Well, it's very cool you know about them now. And then do you know the band The Paradox at all? Have you seen them on they're playing on Warped Tour right now.
I've not.
They just had a song come out with Travis Barker, but they were opening for Games We Play in Columbus, and they were so fucking loud. It was so cool. But they're like there's 4 black dudes from Atlanta.
Are these the guys that like on TikTok people will call them like Black 182?
Yeah,
and
certainly.
stuff?
Yeah, I started calling them that. It's like the easiest joke ever. Yeah, that's exactly what they are. But they're young guys, and it's cool. It's like you don't see a lot of black people kind of take over the punk scene, the pop punk scene. So I'm like, that's really cool. And then they opened for Games We Play, and they got on a Warped Tour, and then they just happened. I think Travis Barker just noticed them, was like, I want to help out the younger guys, because there's like Travis Barker's got to be 50 probably now,
Close to
something like that.
They did a show with Green Day.
Yeah, I think they opened for Green Day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they're taking off. So I got to see those guys pretty much as close as I am to you right now. And it's the bar they were playing. It was called the A&R Music Bar in Columbus. And it was, they were just, all their songs were just like hits. And I was like, this is fucking great. They played a few covers I didn't really know, but all the originals, I was like, this is fun stuff. And then I went home and listened to all those songs. And now I think they might only have 4 or 5 songs out right now. But there's a little ant trying to join the podcast, trying to take care of the ant. It's gone now. Well, you know what? I think it deserves to live. If we each took a turn to crushing it, it's still climbing around. We don't like to harm animals on Mama's Garage podcast, but this is a library we're at, and you want to make sure we keep this place clean. You don't want to have any bugs around. Oh, we gave him a big old crumb last small winter.
He's not interested.
Oh, whatever. But yeah, The Paradox. If everyone's listening, you guys should check out The Paradox. If you love like just easy to listen to, fun, back in the day kind of music, but it's new. It's kind of what Sturgill Simpson did to country music, or Chris Stapleton, where it feels very inspired by old stuff, but it's all fresh. It's really, really cool. There's a song they have about, what's her name? It's called Miss Lauren. It's about him wanting to fuck his teacher. It's so cool.
Have you ever heard of the musician G.G. Allen?
I know the name for sure, G.G. Allen.
Wild guy. I mean, his birth name was Jesus Christ.
Oh.
He was known for shitting on stage and throwing it at people. He'd play naked.
Okay.
He'd
What years were this? Because this is the 90s.
Well, actually, so he was born. Weird to think he's 1 year younger than my grandpa.
Oh, wow.
Doing this pretty much. So he started his reign of terror in the mid 70s. I think 77 is when they formed their first band, or he did. He was in a slew of bands, but the first time he ever defecated on stage was in 1985. But yeah, crazy. And then he would like break bottles over his head and shoving them up his ass, and he would bleed all over himself. He was known for bashing himself in the mouth with a microphone and knocking out his teeth. But so many people, like memorable people, played with him, and it's crazy to me. And like one of the Ramones, Dee Ramone, their bass player at one point, played with him. And now if you ask him about it, I mean, he's dead now, but
yeah,
if you asked him about it back then, he would deny it. He didn't like being in his band. And then have you ever heard of the band Dinosaur Jr.?
Huh.
They're like Nirvana really liked them a lot.
Okay.
And the band Sonic Youth.
I know Sonic Youth.
Looked up to them a lot. But their guitar player and singer, Jay Mascis, he played guitar for him for a little bit.
For Jesus Christ, Alan.
Yeah, for Jesus Christ. His mom, whenever they moved out, so his parents had a really bad relationship. His dad was like a mentally ill.
Not to be a dick, but I kind of assumed it wasn't the best household. If he's
Jesus Christ.
shitting in his own mouth on stage and eating glass and committing one man one jar
acts. Yeah, it wasn't great. People think that stemmed from when he was a teenager. A bunch of his friends and his own brother, a great brother, snuck like 65 tabs of LSD into his beer. 65 tabs of LSD into his beer.
That's like slingshotting yourself off the face of the earth deep into space, I think. I don't know. Dude, it's the same thing with like 42 acres we talked about earlier. Like that is, it's like
the equivalent.
Yeah, but it's like too much for me to even like have a reference to, where it's like, here's $1 billion. It's like, that's 1,000, 1 million. Yeah. I mean, $1,000 would make me psyched. They'd be like, fuck yeah, I got $1,000, but then $1 million more $1,000. That is too much money to conceive. Like our brain just has a certain capacity. But 65 tabs of LSD, which like was probably more pure back then, I imagine, before like people like took stuff, put all that dumb shit into it.
But if it's enough to make him shit on stage, it's got to be something.
Yeah, like to change the course of your life forever. Yeah, I mean, the guy was the Messiah for a while, and then all of a sudden he's like, you know what? I know Jesus Christ doesn't have a G in it whatsoever, but I'm gonna put 2 G's in there, lop out the holy part. And then I'm going to start doing reprehensible acts of terrorism in front of, who God knows who.
Well, the whole Gigi thing came from his brother, Merle. Merle's known for having a
Merle Haggard?
Merle Allen.
Okay, Merle Allen.
Had known for having a Hitler stash.
Oh.
In the 90s. But
in the 90s. Okay, yeah. Well after, I thought maybe maybe he was a really older brother. Maybe he was doing this shit before Hitler, made it impossible to replicate. Because Charlie Chaplin had the same mustache.
Yeah.
But then Hitler was like, Chuck, I'll take it from here.
But
I had an inverted one for a while because I couldn't have hair grow like that, like the little hump in your lip. I have a very prominent hump in my lip, and I just wouldn't grow hair there forever. So nasty. Jimi Hendrix mustache.
Yeah. But the whole Gigi thing came from Merle not being able to pronounce Jesus Christ as a kid, so he just called him Gigi.
Huh.
I can't imagine doing these reprehensible acts on stage in front of. He only played for about 15 people at a time. Nobody wanted to see it.
Yeah, but like small scene punk stuff like that. Like it's kind of what you want. You want like 15 diehard people in there.
But in front of your own brother, also like that. I always thought of that. That's got to be a conversation.
And you can't really predict what kind of shit's coming out. So it could be a really messy stool, or it could be like just a splatter.
It was all he would normally take laxatives before he went on stage.
Oh my god, dude!
And there's
what are these guys' bed sheets like? I think about every angle. He doesn't wear socks. I bet shit on stage is not wearing socks.
No.
Just a very does he ever comb his hair?
He was bald.
Fuck.
But he died of a heroin overdose in 1993.
That's what killed him. Not like shitting on his own food on accident.
No.
Getting E. coli. Okay, all right, well, I guess I thought Gigi Allen was just, if I picture Gigi Allen, I'd probably just picture just a regular country singer. It's like in my brain, just a placeholder for that. Now I'll just picture Pitbull,
The thing that, like, whenever you hear his story, he looks like what, like, his story sounds like.
Uh-huh.
He looks exactly like
a proud boy.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, character.
The goatee, the sexy eyes.
He was
Gigi
prominently
Allen
in the Murder Junkies. That was his most prominent band.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like Tom. Any band with like the name and then the and symbol and then like the band name itself. It's like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Alvin and the Chipmunks, and then Johnny and the Silver Bullets was one of the Beatles' first name. Like, it's always going to be like listen, we're going to have live music. We're going to have some guys back there, but just watch this guy. Use him as your spotlight.
Yeah. If you ever thought you were ugly or had any insecurities, take a look at his brother. He kind of looks like a burn victim a little bit.
Oh my God, dude. No. It looks like parts of his face aren't unlocked yet. That is wild, dude. And that Hitler stash looks like he's like hiding something on his. That is ridiculous, dude.
Hiding a coin under there.
Yeah, so for those who aren't going to listen or look this up, it was basically like a. Fuck. You know, like the other mother from Coraline? You know, he had like the button eyeballs, but then just imagine like just a black sensor bar right in like the wrong part of his face. And then, he had hair just like from
On
his
the
ears
sides.
down.
Yeah, like big ears.
Wow. That
Yeah.
looks like a me character. That's
Yeah.
crazy. Damn. Well, I think we should. It's around 7:20. We have this room booked for another 10 minutes. I still got to tear the stuff down. So how long do you think we went? I mean, I guess, I just gave it away, but went hour 45.
Hour 45.
I know, dude.
Pretty good time.
A pretty good time. We started talking about Nightmare on Elm Street stuff over an hour ago. Let's talk about flow, dude. If we didn't have the headphones on right now, we'd be like, so, school, we never, we got through that. We got all these topics. I learned all about you. You're a very well-versed individual. You are, Brighton.
Thank you.
Very good. But let's see. Usually at the end of the podcast, there's always comedians be like, so where are you going to be this weekend? It's like, because they have their work on the road. So now it's like plug time. But really, I just wanted to talk about the comedy show I have booked at the so this will come out, this episode will come out August 4th, I think. So that means the Greeks comedy show is about 7 weeks away. And I'm going to link the Google form to sign up for it in the description of this episode on YouTube and Spotify. But you'll see if you're listening to the podcast, you probably know who I am. So you're probably following me and everything. So you're going to see stuff about that. But just know it's coming up soon. I'd be remiss if I didn't plug about it. So that's going to be a fun time. I have 7 comedians booked, with myself included. No, I have 6. So 7 in total, including myself. So 6 other guys on the show. I think I'm gonna be the closing act. I think I should have everyone stay till the end for me. There's gonna be a whiteboard involved. I'm excited about that. Some topics. I might might have some props for my stuff. We'll see what happens. We'll see what I come up with. But Brighton, I really appreciate it. I'm glad we can finally do this because we've been talking about doing it for a while. You were like, bro, I like what you're doing. I was like, hey, thanks, dude. Who the hell are you? I didn't know. We just didn't know each other for a while. But now I'll never forget because I'll never forget podcast guests. It's hard to forget 2 hours of my life spending with a conversation, Yeah, so not to get corny or anything, but we talk about the games we play, the story I like to tell. So I just if I had a tagline, it'd just be like, dude, if you want to do something and you think about every day, you should chase those dreams. That's what I try to do that every day. And do you have any closing remarks? Any more movies we should go watch?
No,
Raise your head. 12 Angry Men, maybe?
12 Angry Men's good.
You know everything.
Angry Red Planet. It's a good movie.
Red Planet.
It's a 50s sci-fi movie. Listen to my band.
Yeah, dude.
Wrong Crowd. We don't have any music out recent or currently, but go follow our Instagram.
Yes, Wrong. I'll link that for sure as well.
Yeah.
Wrong Crowd. I was talking to Mason about it when you guys picked the name because what were the first couple of names?
We had our first one was Sacred Wafer.
Sacred Wafer. It's very funny.
And then Satellite Heads, which I thought that was corny as hell. I wanted to drop that name immediately. And then the only time we ever played as Satellite Heads, we dropped that.
Uh-huh.
As soon as we got off stage, we made up one, Dinosaur Sex Party.
Dinosaur Sex Party is pretty fun. That's the one I remember the most.
And then Wrong Crowd. And we stayed Wrong Crowd for about a year now.
Mm-hmm. Wrong Crowd's good. I like that a lot. And it's you, Mason,
and my stepbrother Jack.
Okay,
on bass.
Sick. Very cool. So you play guitar then, or you play?
I play drums.
That's right. What the fuck? Yeah, of course I know. I should know that. I should have gone to that show in November.
We're I don't know how to describe our music. It's the band Title Fight.
Mm-hmm.
You ever listen to them? Title Fight, and a little bit of My Bloody Valentine, and a little bit of the band Hum.
Okay, sick. A lot of inspirations there.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of hard to narrow down all the things I'm inspired by. I've been inspired by so much.
Those aren't even my inspirations directly,
but just the genre
band,
you guys are kind of going for. Very cool. Damn. All right. Awesome. Wrong Crowd. You guys have any performances coming up soon, or anything in the books? Anything any school events or any?
Well, we are looking to record our album in September.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and it'll probably be out by February or March, and I think we'll have it on
2026.
Yeah, I think we'll have it on streaming and physical media. If people still listen to that.
A little bit of DistroKid. That's probably the best way to distribute music, I think. That's very cool. Very, very good. Well, Brighton, thank you again. It's been over 100 minutes. It's pretty good. Well, everybody, if you're listening, you're a cool person. You already knew that. So we'll see you guys next week. I believe next week will be Coden Garrison. You know him from my grade?
I do not.
Well, you're gonna. Episode 21, baby. August 11th, I guess. See you guys next week. Peace.